So let me ask you, what does a spiritual journey look like? uh, I want to share with you my spiritual journey because I did not see it coming. I tell you what, more than 25 years ago, I was living my life. I worked in television. I was working at a big TV station. I loved it. I'm a technology kind of guy. I like to understand how things work. But my life was getting pinched off. My life was getting smaller and smaller. And in hindsight, I would say that what that looked like was I was making um, more common choices. In other words, I was creating a pattern of choices. And that made my world get smaller and smaller. The fewer choices we allow ourselves or we think we have, the smaller our world becomes. Anyhow, I didn't see my spiritual journey at all. Not a little bit, not even a tad. And here I am, immersed in the spiritual community for over a quarter century. So I ended up on a shrink's couch, and my whole life changed in that episode. My whole life changed. I didn't see it coming. It kind of startled me. I've shared before many times about in that session, somehow, I gave myself permission to release an immense amount of energy in my psyche that I did not know existed. And it was anger. I had a lot of anger, but I wasn't an angry guy. And I want to really reiterate that. I wasn't an angry guy on the surface, but I had an immense amount of anger in my subconscious. But I'd never let it come into my conscious space. It was always kept down, below the radar. Well, when that cracked open and this immense amount of energy came out of me, it startled me. I was quite put off by it. I didn't understand it. And that started my spiritual awakening. And then over the last 25 plus years, I've been scrubbing my psyche. And what do I mean by scrubbing my psyche? Well, I was really cut off. I really didn't expect to have a lot of energy inside of me, like a pressure cooker. And in that one moment, I had the release, and it became conscious to me that I had all this subconscious energy to me. My boss was an extremely angry guy. There was anger in my family lineage. Well, I went back in and I went looking for if there was more anger, and I certainly found it. But I went looking for everything as it relates to stagnant energy in my psyche. And I went looking for it and I released it. Fast forward 25 plus years and here I am. What's the difference? Wow. Wow. How do I even say it? I'm so genuinely happy with my life. I take 100% responsibility, 100% responsibility for my life, how I experience life. Another aspect I want to talk to you about regarding this is the more unresolved energy we have in our psyche, the more emotionally we're attached to the collective consciousness, to the ebb and flow, the tug of war of the collective consciousness. If you come home and you're feeling wiped out, even though you haven't done a lot of physical activity, that's emotional stress from your psyche. A couple other things happen. The more you clear out your psyche, the more you clear out your personal energy persona, your consciousness rises. And there's a whole different caliber of wisdom for your life. As you clear out your psyche and you purify your persona, there's a much bigger idea of you up here metaphorically that changes the direction of your life in a very organic and natural way. Before I got cracked open, I'm a TV engineer. I work in TV. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Cut and dried. Nice, tidy little idea of who I am. But now, yeah, life is very cool. I've had a podcast now for 12 plus years, which is a long time in podcast terms. All about spirituality. I write books. I make these video blogs. I'm very passionate and excited. I'm excited for the future because I understand the power of the human persona. My podcast it's really, it focuses on the power of the human persona, and we've interviewed every walk of life: shaman, light workers, PhDs, Nobel laureates, brain surgeons, you name it, we've done it, and we continue to do it, and it brings me great joy. Hi, I'm Les Jensen. I'm the founder of New Human Living. I created the New Human Living platform to help people who haven't had that cosmic 2x4 crack them open. Help them understand that there's a whole different dialogue going on in you, in your subconscious. A whole different dialogue off the radar. I wish somebody would have told me about it. It was, I made this graphic as a result of that. And when I released that energy in that moment, that needle moved. And over the years, I've been moving the needle more and more and more, releasing energy out of my subconscious. And it frees it up to come back into my subconscious. Never, never will you click your fingers and let go of the journey of your soul. In other words, if you look at the mythology of humanity, we're never taken out of the journey. Because we're here for the journey. As souls, we chose to load our psyche up and struggle and roll with the collective. And then when we get cracked open, we unravel ourselves. When I say we unravel ourselves, I think I would say it's the reconstitution or the reconnection where we become fragmented, we reconnect. We put ourselves back together, so to speak. And that's a very powerful thing to do. That's part of spiritual evolution right there. It's really an exciting time to be alive. Your soul chose this incarnation for a tough one. I mean, we're all having a different experience, but your soul chose to come here as you right now. Your soul chose these lessons. So I want to let you know about some free stuff. Our our blog talk radio podcast, like I said, we're over 12 years into it now. It's online, it's all free, hundreds and hundreds of interviews. And if you see an episode by just me, it's typically a karmic class. There's these video blogs at, on our YouTube channel. And I write a weekly blog. It's easy to sign up for the newsletter at newhumanliving.com. I'm not concerned about the future. I'm not. I'm excited for it. I'm planning for it. I'm consciously thinking what I want to create, regardless of the storm that the collective is going through. I'm here to help you. That's my joy. That's my pleasure. I want to thank you for joining us. What an exciting time to be alive. The understatement of the year. I'm Les Jensen. Once again, thanks for listening. Until next time.